Okie dokie. Highway 1019 Z101.9 FM, ladies and gentlemen. The time is now. I'm just itching. Yeah, I'm super itching. Personality of the month, Tommy Annan Forson. Yeah. I call him the godfather of radio. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Annan Forson is a veteran radio broadcaster, and the title veteran means someone who has been in a particular field for a very long time. And he is one of the very few people who contributed to the development of widespread radio broadcasting in Ghana. You can imagine. Today, we will try our very best to capture the greatness of his very self. So you guys need to prepare and listen to a lot of this, because this is also going to be a lesson about the history of radio in Ghana, from one of the greatest to ever walk and talk radio. Ladies and gentlemen, with the greatest privilege I have, with the power vested in me, let me introduce to you the one and only Tommy Annan Forson. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I mean, this is one of the biggest time that everybody would love. My mine is the biggest. Mine is like the biggest. You know, you're welcome to the show one more time. Highway 1019. Uncle Tom, how's your day been so far? I mean, waking up to coming to Z for this interview.
Well, I do a lot of production because of my program.
Yeah.
It is a 3-hour program.
Yeah.
But even before I say anything about that, let me just say that this is the first time I'm listening to your voice over the headphones. And I tell you something, you have an amazing voice.
Uncle Tom, this means billions to me.
It sounds... It's got that bass something, it's rich.
Wow.
Very, very rich.
I appreciate this very much.
Very, very rich.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uncle Tom. This is solid. I mean, so you're talking about 3 hours. I mean, let's just talk about that part. I mean, let's talk about that part, because obviously today you would be on the airways with your show. I mean, kindly let us know about Country Express a little bit.
Well, I was the very first person to introduce country music into Ghana.
Most definitely.
I was the first person to introduce Kenny Rogers in Ghana. That was actually said on a radio FRC2 in Nigeria sometime back. Yeah.
Okay.
And that has been it for me. I thought that let me do something different from what other, presenters do in terms of musical output. And so when I got into country, I thought it might be a bit difficult for people to accept, because people say country music is for old people, but it's not. Excuse me. But even young people today are listening to a lot of country music.
Yeah.
So, that's the basic idea of me bringing into country music.
Okay, so I'll just take you a little bit behind back then. We want to know, who is Tommy Annan Forson? How has it been like for you growing up as a young man to the veteran you are now? We want to know your background. I mean, the school you went to, where you grew up, I mean, your hometown, the origination of everything.
Well, I actually, I'm from Cape Coast.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother was British.
And
my father was a captain. He's also from Cape Coast. He was a captain in the British Army.
Okay.
He was in World War II. That's how my mother and father met, So I grew up actually in Accra, so I speak much better Ga than Fanti.
Okay.
But I grew up as a child who was willing to learn anything that I could. And so my father was a very strict person.
Okay.
He taught us a lot. In fact, I would say that because of him, I am who I am today.
Okay.
In terms of discipline.
Beautiful.
And so I've always been a disciplinarian myself, both at work, at home. That is not to say that I instill or I impose discipline in the house. No,
okay.
That's not it. But I've always been an introvert. People think how can you be an introvert when you speak on radio?
Even away from radio, I mean, in person, I don't see that, because you are very bubbly when you're around us, and you are very outspoken as well. I mean, away from speaking on air, and you're fun. So
Yeah. I'm actually a very funny person.
Okay, I mean, it's in the fancy blood.
You see that? You see
What's the day?
You know, but I was the first person to do a stand-up comedy in this country. Yeah, the first to, and that's how later on.
I'm going to take it back again. You were the first
to do a stand-up comedy in this country.
In Ghana?
In Ghana.
Which year was it?
This was, I think, in 1988, 87, 88.
How did that come about?
You know, I'm sure you know Talal Fatal.
Yeah.
He had weather problems.
Yeah.
He had a place at Dangwa Circle number 1. That was my favorite spot.
Okay.
And that's how I introduced him to music. That's how he got into music. But
right.
I used to make them laugh a lot, you know, especially after having a couple of beers, you know what it's like. You know? But then he said, Tommy, why don't you're so funny, why don't you try stand-up comedy? I said, no way, I mean, come on. You know, but he pushed and pushed and pushed.
Right.
And, we did some publicity, and the first one was at Rex Cinema. But it was very well attended because people were skeptical and were like, hey, stand-up comedy, is it possible for a Ghanaian to stand up on stage and make people laugh for you know, maybe like 1 hour, 1 hour, 45 minutes?
Right.
And so I did that. And I got very, very good newspaper reviews. And so I was asked to do a repeat of the program, which I did.
That was solid.
Yeah, and it was extremely successful. And so I got invitations from all the 3 universities to come and perform, which I did. You know, I went to KUST, UCC, and the University of Ghana. And then I've been performing, you know, other places, Novotel at the time.
Okay.
You know, for expatriates and stuff like that.
So was it paying good at the time?
I wouldn't say it was paying good. Yes, I made a little money, but it was for me to actually break into that industry, which people thought wasn't possible.
Okay.
You know, and unfortunately, when you do something that people laugh, they say, or a concert.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But people didn't really understand what stand-up comedy is. I mean, having to stand on stage alone, looking at a whole crowd, a whole Rex Cinema, you know, 1,000+ people. And trying to make them laugh. My intention was to try and break into that and to break that cycle of what they say concert, like what people were doing on television.
Yeah.
The Opians, you know, or Sofodas,
yeah.
you know, those were things that were concert parties. So it was considered that if you could make people laugh, then you were a concert person. But that was how later on we were able to break into that. And then people accepted the stand-up comedy.
Wow. So did you get a chance to nurture any upcoming, comedian at a time?
The only person, I wouldn't say nurture, but the only person I kind of discovered and pushed, you know, real hard was Funny Face.
Oh,
because I attended, I attended one of his auditions, and he made me, just made me crack up, you know, and I said, you know, Funny Face, you have a talent that you can use, and I would urge you and push you to use it.
Wow.
Get people to laugh, get people to know who Funny Face is.
Wow.
And that was how he blew top.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that one thing about Funny Face that really caught your attention?
His voice won, and then his facial expressions. You know, it takes a lot to do comedy. Facial expressions, what do you call it? Body gestures, language, and stuff like that. So it's very, very difficult. But once you have those 3 elements with you, and you are able to tell the crowd that this is who you are and this is what I'm coming to do. You know, and the worst part, the most difficult part of comedy is having to crack jokes where people don't laugh. And so it is extremely difficult. I have a way of testing the crowd.
Okay.
You know, I'll give you a short story. There was a time I was going to MC at National Theatre.
Okay.
And I think it was Mayway. You know, I brought Mayway to Ghana. I introduced him to Ghana. And so I said to myself, if during the break, you know, what am I going to do? As an MC, you should be able to entertain the crowd.
Exactly.
And so when I was walking on stage, you know, I had a brand new pair of shoes.
Okay.
And so when I walked on, I slipped intentionally.
Ooh.
And I fell flat on my butt. And so when I got up, everybody was like, oh, you know, you know, he's hurt, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so when I got up, I said, oh, guys, come on. Don't worry. I've been rehearsing this for the past. I've been rehearsing this for 2 weeks, you know.
That's interesting.
And so when everybody laughed, I said, good, I've got my crowd. And that is how I always start my comedy shows.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, thinking about that, you started with comedy, I mean, concert. So, how did you drift into, I mean, radio? When did you discover radio? When did you know that, Tommy, you can do this? And you decided to jump into it.
You know, they say that every misfortune sometimes is a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
And I fell sick one time, but I was not hospitalized, but I was not bedridden, but I was confined to bed because of what I had. It was
Okay.
hepatitis.
Okay.
I've never been a radio person.
Okay.
But incidentally, you know, through my reading, I had a little radio set, and
Mm-hmm.
let me just listen to radio, keep me company.
Mm.
And I heard this voice on the air. He's called Jim Amakpofo.
Okay.
His voice was just amazing, just like
Right.
yours.
Thank
know.
you. Thank you. Thank
And
you.
when I listened to him, he played the kind of music that I like. You know, the ballads,
Right.
what they call the ballads, or people say cool music,
Yeah.
but of course there are different genres. And so when he signed off, he said, oh, he'll be back the following afternoon, which he did. And I did listen.
Mm.
And so just before he signed off, I said, look, let me get into my whatever clothes I can get and go to GBC.
Mm.
I got there, filled the form, got in. And you know, radio is a little deceptive. When people hear a voice like yours or mine, people gather that you might be a very tall.
Yeah,
that
I
kind of
know,
thing,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But when he came out, yeah, was this very unassuming person. And I said, oh, good afternoon. He said, good afternoon.
Okay.
I said, oh, you're Jim. He said, yes. I said, okay, I'm not supposed to be here because I'm ill, but I just listened to you and I thought, can we be friends?
Okay.
He said, yeah, no
That's some
problem.
bold
But
step.
yeah, you know, because some presenters, I must say, sorry to say that, are very, very arrogant,
Okay.
very, very rude
Okay.
sometimes because of where they've gotten to. You know, money and power changes people. You know, but I've never believed in that sort of thing.
Okay.
Humility is always the best.
Yeah.
You know, and so he said, yeah. And fast forward, there was a nightclub called Babylon Club.
Okay.
He was the DJ there with one Beniosu, and she was a news
What
reader.
year was that?
This was in 74, 75, I think.
Man, oh man, where were you? Interesting.
You know, so after that, he said, Tommy, I like your voice. Why
Right.
don't you come and do something on radio? I said, no. That is not for me. But he forced me, and he had a program on Saturdays, Lunchtime Rhythms. on
Okay.
TV. So he was just interviewing me,
Right.
me cracking jokes here
Okay.
and there. And he said one day that, you know, why don't you come and host this program for me? You like the kind of music I play.
Okay.
You have a good voice. You speak well.
Okay.
I said, okay, but I've never been employed here. You know, it might get you into trouble. But
Right.
I think it was all God sent. And so when he didn't turn up and I was asked to do the program,
Right.
of course, I was produced.
Right.
He got into trouble, but I also I got called to the office. Who are you? How come you got on the air? I said,
Wow.
well, I was invited. I know I'm not employed here. But, and the gentleman said, director of radio, Mr. Felix Ejefa, said, you have a good voice, you speak well. Why don't you try radio? I said, well, this was just coincidental. I never wanted to. But
Okay.
fast forward, I did, and that's where I am today.
So, I mean, did your parents get to know about the step that you took, or you had to hide it for a little while?
No, unfortunately, my father had passed on.
Okay.
By my mother, my mother, excuse me, passed on in '93. But you know, it was like, go for it, boy. Whatever you think you can do, you know. Because I'll tell you something. I'm a Form 5 leaver. I never went to sixth form.
Yeah.
I never went to the university.
This
So
is
peop-
crazy.
people
Uncle
think-
Tom, you're joking.
No, I never went to sixth form. I never went to.
What was the
university.
reason?
The reason that when my father passed, you know how times are tough when the breadwinner leaves the house,
Yeah.
or leaves for heaven, and so there was a part where I needed to work part time
Ooh.
during school. You know, I was then informed I had to pay my own fees.
Wow.
So I was determined never to be a school dropout, which I did, and so I paid my fees up to Form 5, and I had to start working to be able to provide at least some money for my mother.
How many jobs a day were you doing?
I was doing 2 jobs,
Wow.
you know, and then with GBC I was doing, so it was like 3. So
3.
anytime I closed my shift,
Okay.
I would go to work, and you know, so it was tough, but you know, I managed it, and
Wow.
this is where God has brought me today.
This is interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just tuned in, this Highway 1019 at Z101.9 FM. The spotlight is here with our very own veteran, Tommy Annan. We are diving deep into him. He has given us some epic history about his journey into radio. I mean, Uncle Tom, You have had an interview, I mean, crazy with other top personalities and all that. Did you see yourself getting there when you started the journey of radio?
To be very honest with you, Richard, I never saw myself getting there. I wanted to do a job and do it well. My intention was not to be who I am in terms of, what should I say, build, the huge name that people associate me with. I never thought that. That was not my intention. Mine was just to entertain people.
Right.
Sorry, I have a problem with my voice today. And then for me to get to know people and for people to get to know me, and so just do a good job. Let people appreciate you. And at the end of the month, when you get your salary, that's it. That's what I did.
But how were you doing the 3 jobs? Doing the radio and the other 2 jobs?
Yeah, we had a shift system. That was when my mom was alive, but unfortunately she passed on in '93. We had a shift system from like you go to work 4 a.m. You close at 2 in the afternoon, and then that for 2 days, and then for 2 afternoons you go from 2 to 11 p.m. So after 11, I'll go to the nightclub and go and spin. Okay.
I go to
yeah.
Neighbor DJ.
Oh yeah, I was a DJ.
Dema.
Oh yeah, I was a DJ. Exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Back in the days, then was it disco whatsoever?
Yeah,
what kind of songs were you guys playing?
Brass Construction, Kool and the Gang. All those 80s songs. And we had a way of getting the latest songs.
But how old were you then, Uncle Tom?
I think it was about 20, 21, 22.
Wow.
Yeah. So I started my DJing. It was actually my DJing career at the nightclub.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one Robert Owusu, who was a newsreader at the time and then became director of radio, said, Tommy, we need this on radio. Come to GBC. So it was all ups and downs until I got on the air, which was scary. But yes, I was a DJ, close at 11, go to Babylon Club. And then later on, there was another Stallion Club at Osu.
Okay.
Was then the director of engineering, Mr. Odru, who had that club.
Okay.
And so when I finish at 4 a.m., I go home, have a shower, and then get ready for my next job, which was at Circle. I was working in a coffee factory. So I close at 5. If I have to go to work in the afternoon, somebody steps in for me.
Right.
I get to the work at 5, close at 11, go back to the nightclub. So it was pretty tough.
And how was transportation like at that time? Were you doing more walking or bicycle?
Oh, I had my little VW Beetle. By any time it broke down,
Go Tom.
Every time it broke down, I'd have to walk. But it's all part of life. You can't have anything rosy.
So I want to understand this. I mean, away from radio, what dream did you have before getting into radio? I mean, growing up, I think you had a perspective of life. I want to be this. What role was that?
I actually started studying way before radio how to be a mechanic.
Okay.
Yeah. My late brother had a little workshop in Osu, so there were times where I'll go, and when I was a little boy, I always loved to dismantle toys. See how it works and then put them back together perfectly.
Okay.
And so it was through that I started being a mechanic, or the guys would say fit on you.
Yeah.
And I've always been good with cars.
Okay.
I've always been good with cars, but I would say that when God defines your destiny, there's no way you can change it. And so perhaps that was how I fell ill, because that was the beginning of my journey into radio.
Right.
You are sick, you hear this voice,
go
meet that person, get on air, and then you take it from there. So I was not actually meant to be a broadcaster. I was meant to be, and I wanted to be a full-fledged engineer. But unfortunately, like I said, or fortunately, God says no. With the kind of talent you have, this is what you need to do. I will take you far, and He has brought me this far. 48 years.
It's crazy, I mean, that was 16th of July, 2026. He turned 48 years historically in radio, and it's something epic.
And still counting.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it has to keep counting.
Yeah.
We want to see you go.
So if by God's grace, next year we're still alive and we're good on ZF and where I am, next year, 16th of July, will be 49 years. And I intend to make 50 years.
Ooh. That is strong. I mean, we pray for more grace for the good Lord to keep you strong. Because you've been a strong, inspiration to most of us. Personally, I met you at Asasi Radio, but you didn't notice me then.
Okay.
And I'm like, Uncle Tom, like, hey. And everybody speaks about you so smoothly because everybody knows that you are the man that's so humble and you're widely open. When somebody comes to you for advice whatsoever, you open up, you speak to them. And I got to Z and I saw him like, Jesus is Lord. This one dear.
Sticks, let me tell you something. You drive, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure when you're driving in town, your face is like a blackboard. In that you got to concentrate on the road because of some idiots like the motorcycles, and so people will see you as this man. He must be very arrogant. He must be very saucy or rude. And so when I'm doing that, even at my age, you got to concentrate on the road because you don't know who will be very stupid on the road.
Exactly.
And so when people see my face, they think that, hey, Tommy, he must be very arrogant. Very, very unapproachable.
You've logged in.
Far from that. I'm very approachable.
Yeah.
I love people, and I love people to come to me, ask questions. And if I can help, I will help.
Why you keep on pulling? We are enjoying the moments right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Annan Forson, Godfather of Radio. I call him Mr. Smooth. Why you keep on pulling it off? We're going to take our time to go into his music. This is one of his favorite. Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer. Kenny Rogers. Take a listen, don't touch that dial. This Highway 1019 Z101.9 FM.
Just look at you sitting there. You never looked better than tonight, and it would be so easy to tell you I stood there.
Z101.9
like I've
FM.
done so many times.
I was so sure this would be the night. Close the door and want to stay with me, and it'd be so easy to tell you I'd wait, like I've done so many times. Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll always take you in just when you think you've really changed him. He'll leave you again. Don't fall in love with a dreamer, 'cause he'll break you every time.
Don't Fall in Love with a Dreamer. Uncle Tom, tell us about this song.
It was just by accident I played it because I was assigned to a program called Soft and Gentle on GBC Radio, which was from 10 p.m. to 10:45, and then we go for highlights of the day's news. So when I was given that program and given the kind of music that should be played, that was the first LP that I had, that I bought. And so I thought that, okay, this is the kind of music that we play. So let me start introducing big time artists like Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, Don Williams, and stuff like that. So this was just coincidental, and it went down very well.
I mean, back then when you started radio, I mean, when you got a chance to be the main streamer, were you being given guidelines at that point because you had no experience in radio, or you just have to work it out yourself?
To be very honest, I worked everything out myself.
Wow.
I've never been for any kind of training as far as radio is concerned. So my English language, my first book is the Bible. My second book is the dictionary.
Man.
I still go into the dictionary because the learning process never stops. It never stops until the good Lord calls you. So I'm still learning every day. But people say, but where you've reached today, what are you going to learn? But language is language. Words are words. Names are names. And so I had no training whatsoever. Everything was self-taught.
Wow. I mean, how many radio stations were there at that time?
At the time, it was only GBC 2, and then later on, GBC FM came, which was the FM station. But having worked there for 16 years, you know, when I heard that there was a private radio station going to come up in 1995, and I said, hey, in a regime like this, you know, because we never thought that there would be this freedom of speech, you know, and so I was approached by Kwesi Chum, and I said, come on, this has got to be a joke, you know, are you sure? And he said, yes, he got the license and everything, which was at Ajangote, all the way in Abokubi.
Okay.
That's where the station was. So, yeah, that was my real breakthrough, you know, in radio.
I mean, let's talk about it. 48 years in radio, 16 July 2026 marked that time. How did you feel when you noticed that, today be one of my anniversary, 48 years? What was the comforting moment for you?
I think the comforting moment for me was when people appreciate me. Yeah. People acknowledge me. And of course, when I get an award, it sends me through the skies. You know, I've got 33 awards in my lifetime.
Tell me about it. Wow.
33 awards, a lot of them from private organizations.
Okay.
But the biggest one was in 2008, when President Kufuor at the time gave me a national award, you know, for my contribution towards the success of radio and radio stations in Ghana.
Man, oh man.
And then number 2 was the City TV, who honored me with the Eminence Award, which is the biggest award, apart from President Kufuor's own, for doing what I did. Up to today, nobody has been able to get that award.
Wow. I'm going to on my shoulder bullets. Yeah.
I know, right? By the time I finish my ears, how they kill me.
Because it's what really, electrify us to keep pushing. Your experience, your awards, it's crazy. How long did it take you to grab your first award?
I honestly cannot remember. If my memory serves me right, I was called to a Paloma one time, and I was just mentioned. We have in the house here Tommy Annan Forson, and we have this award for him. I mean, I was just thrown aback. You know? But the very first one, I was at home. I'd broken my hand, and I was supposed to be the MC for the GBC Awards at the National Theatre, but unfortunately I couldn't go. So the late Charlie Sam, may his soul rest in peace, had to be the MC, and Poncho, Samson Queen, you know, were the MCs. And so now let's have the awards for GBC FM presentation, and then they mentioned my name. Wow. And I said, wow, this is I don't know how I was able to get it into my head. But later on, I was called by the University of Ghana. They honored me. They are just countless. I don't know where some of them are, honestly.
Wow. Uncle Tom, I'm super excited, super privileged, because, I mean, with what I'm hearing now, it's even inspiring me more. I feel, and I know that your story and my story are quite the same. Yeah, quite the same. I will share mine, like how you're sharing yours one day when somebody else everybody. Can you remember the exact day that you started your first radio show, and I mean the outfit you were wearing? I mean, because it's a debut, it should be something very fresh in your mind.
I remember, I can't remember the date, but I remember it was a Saturday afternoon, 1:30 to 2.
Okay.
And that was a program that Jim Amakpofo was handling. It was one of the biggest programs. And I said, gosh, am I going to be able to do this? So I did my selections from the house, but it was terrifying, not knowing that this is the only radio station. Everybody listens to GBC2. And so who is this new voice? What's he going to bring? You know, but after the show on Monday, I was called to the office. And the Director General said, were you the one on air on Saturday? I said, yes, sir. He said, have you been employed? I said, no, sir. So who put you on air? Then I mentioned. So it was more or less like a query. Only to get to know that he was coming back to come and praise what I did.
Wow.
You know. And so when he asked me to apply, I said, well, God be the glory.
I mean,
you know, but the very first day was a Saturday, but the date itself, I really couldn't.
How was the drip like that day? You know, you go sit on air. What was the drip like? You know.
You know, it's frightening. I mean, I was shaking like a leaf, you know, because it's like the whole world is listening to you.
Yeah.
You know, and at a point in time, the West African service of GBC would hook into certain programs, and that was one of the programs. So apart from the whole of Ghana listening, the West African continent was also listening. So you can imagine what I was going
That's
through.
a crazy one.
You know. But later on, I was reading some books on broadcasting, and it was said that, like what you're doing or what we're doing, if you're talking to the world outside, pretend that you're talking to your spouse or your brother, your sister in front of you. Because if you think that so many people are listening to you, definitely you're going to get criticized, praised, maybe even condemned, you know. And so that was how I started getting away from the fear of the microphone, because the microphone can make you or unmake you.
Most definitely.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, when did your role as a program assistant begin?
This was, I think, in 81, 82. I was given my appointment letter at that time, and you know, I'm a workaholic.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to say fortunately or unfortunately, but I'm a workaholic. And so one time, in our shift system in GBC, from 5, you start the station at 5. That means you get there at 4. And so there are 3 people in the shift.
Right.
Now we had what we call shift within shift. And so maybe I'll tell you, okay, tomorrow you start the station. Okay. So I'll be monitoring at home.
Okay.
Okay. And then maybe DJ Abnormal.
I'm going to please say it again.
DJ Abnormal. We'll do the following day. Okay. So we would alternate what we were doing.
Right.
But there was a time where I was monitoring. They opened the station, what we call the opening drums. Okay. And then they play Yangara Asasini. Oh. And then the voice is supposed to come on air. Okay. There was no voice. They just started playing music. So in my pajamas, I got into my car and rushed to GBC. You know, I ran through the gates in my pajamas. It was just crazy.
That's what Black will say, decisions are made in my pajamas.
I tell you, you know.
The morning matter.
So I got into the station and I did it in such a way that the music was playing for a voice to come on later. Okay. Okay. Because sometimes when I'm doing my program, if you do listen, you realize that after my sick tune, I play 2 or 3 songs before I come in to introduce.
Most definitely.
And so that was what I did to cover the person who had not turned up for work.
Okay.
And apparently the previous evening, he had too much agogoro, so couldn't get up, you know. Now, we finished the station at 8, we break and come back at 12. So when I was going, the director of radio saw me walking out of GBC in pajamas. And he said, Tommy, what are you doing here? Yeah. Why are you wearing pajamas? And him being somebody who likes me so much, I explained the situation to him. Yeah. And he said, my goodness, I didn't know we had people like this. And so 2 months later, from a program assistant, you're supposed to go to senior program assistant. And I was promoted directly straight on to a producer. That was a double jump, the first in the history of GBC. Hell broke loose, but hey, it is what it is.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this can be a very long day. We're just trying to let you know, compress it a little bit. Uncle Tom has a lot under his sleeves. Anyways, let's go straight to another music he loves, titled I Will Always Love, from Dolly Parton.
Z 101.9 FM.
If I should stay, I would only be in your way, so I'll go. But I know I'll think of you each step of the way, and I will always love you. I will always love you. Bittersweet memories That's all I am taking with me. Goodbye, please don't cry. We both know
Z 101.9
what
FM.
you need. I will always
Love you. This one I can't
Oh,
try.
I beg you, don't try. Don't try.
It is Kakalika voice.
I tell you.
Anyways, Uncle Tom. This is Dolly Parton's song. And when I heard it, I'm like, I've heard a sample of this before. Is it that of, I want to know, Whitney Houston or what?
This one was the original, written by Dolly Parton.
This is the originator,
Yeah,
of
originator.
this
Yeah.
song.
Yeah. And then-
Okay.
yeah, and then later on, there's another country superstar, Vince Gill.
Okay.
She did a collaboration with her.
Yeah.
With him, sorry. And then I think Whitney Houston asked permission from Dolly Parton
Okay.
if she could do the black version of that song.
Oh.
And you know, black music is more widespread than country music.
Okay.
You know, country is restricted to like Texas and places like that.
Right.
And so when Whitney's came out, it was a big hit, and people thought that it was Whitney Houston, but she gave credit to Dolly Parton. And
Right.
incidentally, Dolly Parton didn't take even a farthing from Whitney Houston.
Wow.
With all the money she made from that song.
Wow.
I mean, Dolly has got what, over 3,000, 4,000 pairs of shoes.
Is she alive still now?
Yeah, she's about 82.
Ooh.
You know, and she's still performing. Still
Wow.
performing. And she's got about what, 4,000 pairs of shoes at home. It tells you the amount of money she has.
Wow.
You know, so she doesn't need the money from Whitney Houston.
So, you know, I mean, looking at back in the days, what kind of songs were they listening your time?
There were more ballads than, you know, people say cool music.
Okay.
But, yeah, but the actual genre is ballads.
Okay.
Okay, so like I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
It's a ballad. You listen to Celine Dion. It's a ballad. You listen to Kenny Rogers also singing ballads, not just country. Okay, so a song like Dance with My Father, okay, which was by
my father.
by Luther Vandross,
Okay.
right? The originator is called Kelly Kofi, and the originator is a country song.
Okay.
Yeah,
So back then, was country music that popular?
it wasn't that popular because, you know, I would not say there was a restriction, but it wasn't promoted as a worldwide kind of, what do you call it? You know, the blacks, they kind of adventure into business, okay? But with country stars, it's like, people should just love my music. Let me make my money, write more songs, and that's it. But it was when Luther Vandross, what's her name? Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
and a few others, you know, came out with their versions of the song that
Right.
people, if I didn't tell people, did not know. But later on, people got to know, and that was how now country music started spreading out,
Okay.
you know. And somebody like Taylor Swift,
Okay.
you know,
Okay.
and even there was this black lady who came out with a country song. I've forgotten her name, and it was a huge hit. So it tells you now that even on BBC interviewed me some years back, and they themselves said that they realized that even though black music is very popular,
Right.
the issue of bad words, advisory lyrics, you
Yeah.
know, is beginning to go into people's heads.
Heads.
Okay, but they did a research from India, from Pakistan, India, Indonesia, and somewhere else, realized that country music is now taking over the world.
Speaking of that, taking over the world, what inspired you to go into country music?
I want it to be different. You know, if you listen to our music, the words are there, but not wanting to say this, for me, it doesn't teach me anything. I don't know whether it teaches you or others, you know, but if you listen to country music, it has a story to tell.
Right.
It talks about your relationship.
Right.
It talks about your marriage. It talks about broken hearts. It talks about your journey. Now, even going into the country gospel, it talks about the Lord Jesus Christ. It talks about the problems they have and that God should take them out of these problems. So it's a storytelling genre.
You just spoke about country gospel. So how many country songs or general country songs we have? Are there types?
for now, it's more of an experiment going into. Okay, you have hill songs, people who sing Christian gospel music.
Okay.
That is different from country. But now they are infusing country into gospel or gospel into country.
Okay.
And so I would say that it's more of a test platform.
Right.
And it's beginning to be accepted very, very well. I play a few of them on my show.
But weren't you scared at that time that you know that country music wasn't buzzing that much and you want to be different? Did you think that you might sink, you know, if you tried or something?
Well, you know, they say that every adventure is an adventure.
Okay.
Okay. People were playing ballads. People were playing high life. At that time, these new songs that are here, you know, the Sarkodie, the Shatawalis were not around. So it was just high life funk, Kool and the Gang, Brass Construction, all those people were things that have been played. Now, when it was a slow time program, it was ballads. So I said, okay, let me be different.
Right.
Let me see if I can touch base with country people.
Okay.
People who will understand. And I always said that if you're going to listen to this song, listen to the lyrics, not just the music. Listen to the lyrics because it's telling you something. It's telling me something. And so people began to listen to lyrics of the songs. Now, anytime I'm doing a program, I'm sure you hear the messages I get sometimes, that the songs are very deep.
Yeah.
You know, now they are doing songs that talk about you. Because, look, I'll tell you something, Sticks.
Yeah.
If you do so many years in radio, and God forbid you retire, you will realize that all the people who love you today won't even think about you.
Oh.
They won't even call to find out, where's Sticks? I haven't heard from him for a long time.
Okay.
That is what is happening to me.
Wow.
Okay? People don't call to check on me unless they're looking for something. But that's life.
Wow.
Okay? So they come out with songs that relate to, I've helped people so many times, nobody wants to help me.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, it's gotten to a point that when sometimes you call somebody, they don't even pick up your call. They think that, maybe you're coming to ask for money.
Something, yeah.
But that's not the case. I do a lot of checking up on people.
Wow.
Because I've had situations where, I just spoke to him yesterday.
And he's gone.
And he's gone. So that pain is there.
Right.
And a lot of them are friends, not just people. They're just friends.
Okay.
And so these are songs that are coming up. It's a storytelling genre, and it teaches us a lot of lessons.
I mean, speaking about that, radio and TV back then, who was the boss?
That's difficult. I know at a point in time, Godwin Avenogbo, the late, was really tops. And then came Charlie Sam, who blew the airwaves with his style of music, his style of presentation. And then there were a couple of times Charlie and I did a program together called The Wave. That was the first fold-in program, which lit up the world.
I see.
You know. But for TV, I've done a few TV programs.
Okay.
But at the time, people like John Hammond, the late John Hammond, when he was reading the news, you don't want him to stop reading the news.
Ooh.
Because of one, his voice, his pronunciation. I mean, if you say, where's Sticks? He's gone to the bank. You know, you say bank.
Yeah.
It is bank.
Okay.
And so you want to listen. He was so good.
All right.
You know, and for me, he was tops. But when it comes to presentation, I did a few programs called the bandstand, live bands on, what do you call it? But for TV, for me, for radio, for me, it was Charlie Sam.
So TV, what station was it? Still GBC?
TV, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to go into another phase of Uncle Tom's favorite music. I'm sure this one will be shocking some of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Shatawali Enter the Net is one of Uncle Tom's favorite music.
101.9 FM.
I've been to many places in this world.
It's your
I'm
lifestyle
searching for
nurture
this
and
kind
fitness
of
radio.
girl. You look so beautiful, you look so good. So tell me what you want from me. She said, Wale, enter the net, enter the net, enter the net. Shut the Wale, enter the net, enter the net, enter the net. Wale, enter the net, enter the net, enter the net. Shut the Wale, enter the net, enter the net, enter the net. Girl say man a real for me, so she say shut the Wale, enter the net. Browse make me conquer the net. Show you how you.
This is crazy.
Me, yes,
A country music legend of this caliber says Shatawali. Uncle Tom, tell me why you love the song and why you love is it both the artists and the song or just the song?
The artist and the song.
You love Shatta Wale. You love his song.
I love his songs. You know
what about it?
When I don't know, listening to music I don't know whether it's with you. There are certain times you get into certain moods. There are certain kinds of music you want to play.
Yeah.
Most of the time when I'm driving is country music. But you might hear me pass one time and you hear the song in my car.
Okay.
You hear Sarkodia in my car, you know, that kind of thing. It's the mood. Okay. So it does not mean to say that because I'm a country star, so to speak. I even listen to classical music.
Right. But what does this song do to you the first time you heard it?
I think it was the beat. You know, and I think this was one of his very first songs, you know, or that's what started bringing him to fame. And it was just the beat, you know, the boom, boom, you know, then enter the net. It really hits you. And this one says something.
Right.
Okay. It's not every song that says something, but I just love this song. I just love the guy.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful right there.
Bras make you conquer the net. Show you how you will enter me bed. Me a set you carry long cocky pet. So show me how you have a run from the net. While they make your thing manifest and make me confess. Coming in the XX. No say me now 1 minute man. Just a hit minute and my woody lamb. No say me and the only man will make you feel like real woman. She say Wale. Enter the net.
Enter the net.
Enter the net.
Oh man. Highway to 19Z101.9 FM, your number one drive time show here in Ghana, Africa, and the world. You name it, we play it. You see it, we discuss it right here. We're streaming live on YouTube, Z Multimedia. Find us there. Join the live stream. I mean, leave your comments, okay? All right. So, Uncle Tom, looking at what you're saying all this while, I mean, there are loads and loads of nuggets in there that we can never finish taking in. When did fame first hit you?
I think when I got to Joy FM.
Okay.
You know, GBC, we had, excuse me, strict rules. Listeners, please bear with me. We had strict rules.
Yeah.
Everything was tailor-fitted.
Okay.
Okay? Don't do this, do that. This percentage of music. No laughing on the air, no jokes. But I said to myself, look, to hell with all these things. And so when I was given a show called the 620 Soul Train on Thursdays, that show, every presenter had a show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we had 5 presenters. I was Thursday.
Okay.
My show won an award. In fact, 2 awards.
Right.
Okay. And that was the first time I cracked a joke and I laughed on air. I got into trouble.
Ooh.
I was given a query and I went up to the director. I said, look, boss, you people want your station to rise.
Right.
This is what God has given me. This is who I am. This is what I'm able to do to get to the people. Please give me permission.
Okay.
He says, okay, but just don't step on people's toes. Of course, I knew my parameters. I knew what kind of joke should go on the air, what should not go on the air.
Right.
So I started doing that and it started picking up.
Okay.
But then you had a straight jacket kind of presentation. And so when I left GBC on the 30th of May, 30th of April,
Okay.
and then the 1st of May, I was on air at Joy FM at a Django Hotel, long distance.
Wow.
At that time, Kwesi Chum had gotten in touch with me, and then
Right.
I took along with me Dusty Wayne, the late Dusty Wayne. His, you know,
Rest in peace.
yeah, a lot of these good guys have gone. But anyway, and so Kwesi Chum said, you know what, this is a private commercial radio station. Don't bring the GBC style.
Feel free.
Feel free.
Oh man, oh man.
Feel free. And I think I was then 38 or I don't know what, you know.
Right.
Now I remember, you know, when I started the Super Morning Show.
Okay.
And then there was Midnight Express on Friday.
All right.
Which was from 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. And we just talk about relationships. You know, I've done counseling before. And so I'll counsel people on the air.
Oh,
and
really?
that became the #1 show for a long time.
Wow.
Then #2 was the Super Morning Show because of my bubbly self.
Okay.
You know, I just exploded with everything that I had, everything that was covered by GBC.
Yeah.
I'll just let it
It
out.
makes it fun.
It was fun. Radio was fun.
Flexibility at its best.
Everything.
Wow.
And I remember my 40th birthday. You couldn't walk into Joy FM because there were so many gifts and presents anywhere. You know, somebody bringing a cake in a pickup. You know,
Wow.
and it was, and so I thought to myself, this perhaps is my height when
Okay.
it comes to radio, because I'd kept so much inside me. And so when I got to Joy FM, it's like, Master, Buesu,
Let it go. Yeah.
let it go. And that's how my, what do you call it, came in.
I saw Joy FM celebrating you somewhere last year. Yeah. Can you tell us about it?
I think that was my 70th birthday.
Mm.
Yeah, my 70th birthday.
Okay.
Where they came to the house, they brought a cake. And they thought that, look, the history of radio cannot be written without the name Tommy Annan Forson.
Mm.
And so apart from being 70, they brought me a nice picture. And they just, kind of came to honor me. And QIC, Quality Insurance, also did a party for me. I happened to be the...
All these were last year?
Yeah, last year. I happened to
Wow.
be the face of Quality Insurance for one of their products.
Yeah.
And so the honor was big.
Wow.
A lot of people came. And
Wow.
I felt, wow. Sometimes you don't know how people appreciate you
Exactly.
when you're sitting behind the microphone. Because when
Right.
you finish Sticks, you get in your car, you drive home. But there are people out there who are
Left
listening to you
impact.
and talking to you and taking experiences from you.
You.
Until it is told to you, you don't know.
No. Wow.
You don't know.
Speaking about this, I mean, when you started the journey in radio, were there some challenges? Were there some doubts for you?
Life itself is a challenge.
Okay.
But for me, my challenge was to make a successful broadcaster. It's amazing that at the age, Monday I'll be 71.
Okay.
It's amazing that at
This coming Monday?
Yeah, coming Monday.
This coming Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. We need to party. Wow.
I'll be 71. And so it's like, what else is left?
Wow.
I've done everything. But you see, I love what I do. But life, like I said, is a challenge. There definitely will be challenges. There are times where it's like you go to work, it's like, every day the same thing.
Yeah.
But the same thing is the same program, but you have to make that program different. You have to be a different person.
Yeah.
Okay? So for me, one area that I've looked at that has been very, very successful is being an abstract presenter.
Yeah.
Okay? Unlike people say, oh, hello, good morning, and welcome to the morning show Monday. Tuesday, hello, good morning, welcome to the morning show. Wednesday, hello, good morning. But when you are abstract, people are not able to tell what you're going to come up with.
Yeah.
Okay? So you're like, hey, today, what is this man going to
Let's
say?
say.
What is he going to do? So they look forward to having you on air.
Right.
Okay? So that you don't become stale. But I was telling myself that, not that I don't want to lose fame. Whatever goes up will come down. Okay? But in coming down, you meet the people you help going up.
Right.
Okay? So it's a two-way kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it amazes me that people like this gentleman who came here today with our CEO, he looked at me and said, hey, Uncle Tom.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that.
yeah.
I mean, the joy
The joy.
he had in seeing you and all that.
Yeah, and some people see me, and they are starstruck, because, look, I would love to go to a chop bar any day.
Yeah.
And I do that sometimes.
Right.
I want to have that feel. That people think that, because Tommy Annan Forson is
You
huge.
know, yeah.
You should be at Novotel. You should be at what do you call it, those other places.
Yeah.
No. I mean, you want to be down there. Fufu no.
For boom. Simple like that.
I'm Pesino.
Wow.
And I've done it a few times, and people are, is that not Tommy Annan Forson? What is he doing here? And it offends me
Okay.
when you ask, what am I doing here?
Right.
I'm a normal human being. But it's just that it's the good job that I've done. And so
Right.
people appreciate me. But I'm
That's
just
solid.
normal.
Now, looking at the whole structure here, we are now in a different dispensation. Comparing that of now to the then radio, which pays more?
That's actually difficult to tell because I wasn't poached at Joy.
Okay.
I was asked to come and do a job.
Okay.
There was no money transfer or
Okay.
transaction, nothing like that. But you see, I think it all depends on who you are, your capabilities. Unfortunately, people think that, for me, that's my personal opinion. People think that, because I'm so and so, pay me so and so.
Right.
Okay? Help the station grow.
Grow.
Help yourself grow. things will come your way naturally. You understand what I'm saying? And so if you think that you are too expensive, people, look, the radio itself today doesn't really pay. There are too many stations, many stations. But if you say, I'm expensive, pay me this, maybe the owner of the station cannot.
Right.
Okay? People also have at the back of the mind that, okay, if the station rises, definitely mayor or papa.
Right.
Okay? These are the things that I look out for. And so for me, money is good, can do a lot of things, but it's not my priority.
Okay.
I'll tell you what my priority is when maybe, look, everybody goes through hardship. We all do.
Right.
People ask for help. We all do. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Okay? But somebody once said, my wife is married to a very rich man. My wife is an actress. NYA, the brand.
Most definitely. And you know her? Yeah.
The man is a rich man. I'm not rich. I'm rich in the spirit of God. I'm rich in intelligence. I'm rich in smartness. I'm rich in the job that I do. So I will not place, if I get money today, yes, I will chop.
Yeah.
But I will not go and do something that will destroy my reputation. Sticks. You can Google Tommy Annan Forson. You will not see one scandal. Not one.
That's epic right there, too. I mean, let's look at radio now, again, radio then. What's the difference?
There's a big difference. In our days, we did a lot of research.
Okay.
You had to write scripts before you get on air. You had to get your producer to vet the script, get it approved before you go on air. But today, the microphone is available. Say what you like. And those days, radio was professional.
Okay.
Very, very professional.
Okay.
Okay. But today, I would even say that, look, I'm guilty of it. Speaking over lyrics is never allowed. You don't speak over lyrics because the lyrics tell a story. So you don't butt into somebody's songwriting and then say, oh, that was a song by so and so and so. No. But today, it's free for all.
Okay.
People are insulting. People are screaming. People are yelling. People are, even the president, people can insult the president. And today, when something happens to you, you don't understand. But you see, Sticks, I've always said that no matter who you are, what you are, the tables will always turn. The world is a small place. The earth is huge, but the world is a small place.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so if you are yourself and you respect yourself, people will respect you. Today, there are a lot of presenters who people do not respect. And they don't respect others because they have made money through perhaps illegal means. I don't know. Okay? But for me, money is not a priority. And so I'll look more at the professional side and say that old wine tastes better than fresh wine.
Fresh wine.
How many of them have gone to school today? No professionals. But look at the way I train Komla Dumo. I train Dorin Ando.
Uncle Tom, take it easy. Let's come back to you. Trained?
Komla Dumo.
Who again?
Dorin Ando.
Who again?
Kwame Sefakai.
Who again?
Joe Digi. I know you know Joe Digi.
Give me the list, Uncle Tom. Give me the list. Right.
Kofi Kumbilson.
Okay.
Marco Kreku Mante. Our what's his name? Kojo Opon Kruma took a lot from me.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
There are so many of them. Samuel Atta Mensah, I taught him how to use the console. Vivian Kai Mensah, head of news in, she just resigned from City. So many of them.
How did you encounter them? Is it like was like a school somewhere, or
No, it
when they
wasn't
met
a
you, they
school.
came to you to mentor them and all that?
Exactly.
Right.
So GBC, for instance, Kwame Sefakai came to me. We talked a lot, showed him what have you. But that is not to say that I was also not put under somebody's wings. Charlie Sam took me under his wings. Godwin Avenogbo took me under his wings. And so when I was employed as the program director of Joy FM, Dorinando came for a job. And I would say, look, don't do this, don't that. This is how we do it. This is how we do it, Look, I'll tell you a funny story. Komla Dumo, when he started learning how to use the console,
Okay.
we had a program, a Celebrity Golf Club,
Okay.
where Gabi Ajete and Dorinando would be over there. It was like a request program.
Right.
Just interact with people, Joy FM. And Komla Dumo and myself would be in the studio playing the music, doing the selection. It was on a Saturday. Komla was always terrified of the console. But there was a time that Saturday, I said, Komla, tomorrow I have to travel to Takoradi. So I'm sorry, you're going to have to do this on your own. he almost collapsed. But you see, when I came back on Monday, he was hiding. But if I'm going to Takrady, I don't get Joy FM in Takrady, so why are you hiding? So he said, oh, perhaps he's had reports, or I've had reports that this is what he did.
Right.
I said, what? You know what, Kamla? I'll tell you the truth. I didn't travel. I didn't go anywhere. I knew and I had confidence that Kamla Lumo, you can do it and you will do it. And you did a perfect job.
Wow.
Dorinando, the same thing.
Wow.
Here's your first news bulletin. Go and read.
Wow.
Just go and read. I'll stand behind you and coach you.
Wow.
And so that was how I trained people. You know, I don't lord it on them,
Right.
but I advise.
Wow.
You know, and that's it.
Crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go for another music break. One of Uncle Tom's favorite songs, Ajua Yankee.
Z 101.9 FM.
Highway 1019 Z101.9 FM. A moment that you can never forget about as today. Tommy Annan Forson, veteran, legend when it comes to radio. I mean, Uncle Tom, this song here is something that you love. Tell me a little story about it.
I remember when I was spinning as a DJ in Babylon Club.
Okay.
This song had just come out.
Right.
It was played on radio a couple of times.
Okay.
But of course, we have to edit because it's long. It's about 23 minutes.
Okay.
And a couple of times I played at the nightclub, people were like, hey, how are you? You know, fancy you, that kind of thing. And it's got about 2 or 3 different stanzas. And then there was a time I said to the idiot, in this nightclub, only high life.
Right.
Now, there was I forgot the name of the group, but I think it was A.B. Crenso.
Okay.
And Sweet Melodies or something like that. I can't really remember, honestly. But I put those 2 on, and I said, share. You people go dance, leave me. You lie bad. I took off my shirt, my singlet. Got onto the floor. And I danced like hell. It was people were pouring beer on me, and it's like, you know. And if I didn't come to work one evening, it's like people would just walk out of the nightclub.
I get it, man.
You know,
you were the spotlight at the time, and that's crazy. Anyways, what does the title Godfather of Radio make you feel?
Honestly speaking, Sticks, I don't know how I feel. I don't know. I'll be very honest. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know who gave me that name. I saw it on Google. I don't know who gave me the King of Country. I saw it on Google.
I was not going there too.
Yeah, because I will not give myself a title.
Right.
You know, I'll say, let me just say it, I'm too small for that.
Ooh.
You know, unlike people who say, I'm this, I'm that, you know.
Wow.
But of course, now it's like, I would say official, but people know this. So I'll say, oh, this is Tommy Annan Forson, the King of Country, the Godfather of Radio. That is what people know me for. But I don't know who gave me Godfather of Radio. I don't know who gave me Country King. I saw it on Google myself. I was shocked. But I guess it's something that people thought that, look, this man deserves better than just being called Tommy Annan Forson. He started the journey of private radio. And today, this is where private radio has gotten to. Because of him, other radio stations came up.
Right.
Yeah.
So playing country music from then into now, does your feeling still stay the same, or you feel like, Charlie, there's a crazy form of growth and impact with your country music.
I think there is a crazy growth and impact. I mean, I wouldn't name I won't put anybody's name out, but there's a lady, she's in Kufrodua.
Okay.
If she doesn't listen to the show one evening, she falls sick.
Ooh.
If she doesn't get she has to do it online. If she doesn't get online, she falls sick. She has to leave the house. Okay? There are certain people who, and it's happened twice, that a woman almost ruptured her bladder because of me.
Wow.
Yes. I've had 2 people call, not insult me as insult angry, but Tommy, how can you do this? Somebody listens to country music and he's falling asleep behind the steering wheel and you crash into somebody's car. Ooh. It happened just here. What do you call this traffic light here? Is it
the American House?
American House.
Yeah.
You know? And for me, what I like to do is play the songs in a certain rhythm continuously, even if it's for 3 hours. So that you don't want to miss the next song and the next and the next. And so I do a lot of production.
Wow.
So as for instance, if I finish at 10 p.m., tomorrow by 6, I'm downloading, doing production, doing my playlist. When I finish my playlist, I crush it. I say, look, when I come here, my first song, I know what follows after that. And so it's continuing. 2 of them almost ruptured their bladder.
Wow. Just listen to the song. They can't
leave.
Yes.
They don't want to leave.
Wow.
And so it makes me feel that, okay, even though some people might be hurting themselves, it's a form of gratitude to say that this show is good.
Right.
I can't leave it.
I mean, ZFM is highly privileged to have you here as, Country Express goes on and on and on and on. But Uncle Tom, tell me about the Radio Academy.
Yes, it was the first in West Africa.
What was the name?
Radio Broadcast Development Foundation.
Okay.
It was an NGO, but I changed it to Rabudev to make it short.
Okay.
We ran for 15 years. And there's so many people on radio today I've trained. Kwesi Kwetia, he's on Metro TV. He does the news. He was in my school. What's her name on TV3? Kemini Amano. So many of them. But unfortunately, when the COVID came up, and there was a complete shutdown of the country for 2 weeks, it affected us. Really, really affected us. And then not long after that, the landlord passed on.
Oh.
And so children of today, they want to fight for that. There's a disagreement, and it was affecting me psychologically.
Right.
Because the moment you mention Rabudev, they know where it is, they know what it's capable of doing, and the things that I teach and do, And eventually I realized that, look, this fight is not going to get anywhere because the court is going to say, okay, injunction or whatever it is, close it down.
Wow.
And then I said to myself, look, I'm not ready for this kind of stress.
Right.
Pressure kills people. I check my pressure regularly. I'm a very, very healthy person. I've never been admitted in hospital before since I was born. And so I'm not going to sit down and let the fight of some other people and some property, which is vanity anyway, affect my health. And so I just gave it up.
So if I should ask right now, I mean, did you ever think of owning a radio station when you realized the impact you're making and all that?
I thought about it, and I tried something once. But you see, I realized that, unfortunately, I hate to say, but the Ahwanya in this country is just too much. It's too much. The jealousy, the hatred. And I can tell you for a fact that some people hate me for who I am, what I am. But it's what God gave me. You can't
God have mercy upon us.
Thank you. Thank you. I cannot be Richard Sticks.
Right.
You can never be Tommy Annan Forson.
Exactly.
Your style is different.
Right.
My style is different.
Yeah.
Perhaps I can take something from you.
Exactly.
Like I admire your voice.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic voice.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sure the ladies will love the voice.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
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 Yeah. Okay. But it's what God gave you, is what God gave me.
Right.
I tried to get a license for my radio school.
Okay.
For on-air practicals.
Okay.
You'll be surprised and shocked what I went through.
Wow.
Everything was delivered. What documentation didn't you want? Everything was delivered. And then they came out with excuses. What about if somebody says something on the air that is derogatory? I said, that is why it is called a training school. I'm not going to sit down for DJ Abnormal to sit in the studio quietly and do something when I'm not there monitoring him.
Exactly.
Show you what to say. Write your script. Read your script.
Right.
And make sure it is perfect when you come out. But some people thought that, oh, maybe after doing a community radio, that was what I was going to call a community radio, he might vie for a commercial radio station. And I know what people went through to get a radio license. I don't want to talk about it, you know, but it kind of like, you know, I'm not ready for this stress. I want to live, not to sit in a wheelchair, but I want to live and live until God says, Master, you've done your part. Come to me. I'm fine.
Beautiful. Since you couldn't get the chance to, you know, achieve that.
If I do today, of course, if somebody says, come and manage my radio station, I will.
Yeah. So what will be that change in this time of radio? What will be that change you want to give?
Professionalism. Professionalism. That's it. Professionalism. I'm not going to lord it over people, but I'm going to teach. People must be able to see and hear the difference in this radio station from this radio station.
Right.
Of course, Peace FM is different. That's for the mass.
Exactly.
The mass market. ZFM is different. It's for the elite. Joy FM is different.
Right.
Okay. But I want to instill professionalism. Make sure you don't do this. Unfortunately, I happen to be a neat freak.
Yeah, I mean, you showed me your car, even just your car, the engine and all that. I mean, you guys don't joking, Uncle Tom, man. Charlie, the engine inside there like some 5-star hotel inside, so clean, so fresh. I had a priest sit in his car and it was amazing. I'm like, hey, Uncle Tom, and that's really wild.
Yeah, you know, so just instill professionalism. Get them to like you, not get them to hate you.
Right.
Get them to understand what broadcasting is all about. You know, so that one day, I told Komla Dumont, you know, Komla, the way you're handling this, one day you go to BBC. He said, nah.
He didn't believe it.
I said, Komla,
right.
Just take my advice. Do what I've asked you to do. Professionalism.
Right.
Put mechanisms in place that will make you feel different.
Right.
I saw him on BBC one morning and I cried.
Yeah, man. You cried.
I cried.
That's
it was
beautiful.
Joy.
That's beautiful.
Joy. When he
beautiful.
finished his first broadcast, I mean, he was nervous. Yes, it's practically normal. When he called me from BBC, said, Uncle Tom. And you know, we're related.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we're
That's
related.
Interesting.
You know, father side.
Okay.
He called me and he was crying on the phone. He said, Uncle Tom, you said it. I said, what did I tell you? So when I tell people that you will get to this level, but when you get to this level, humble yourself. Calm down. Be down there. Because Amubrasi, Unyami, nebe pijao.
Wow. I mean, I encountered Heavy D. He made mention of something, I mean, encounter with you. I mean, being late a little bit.
And I suspended him.
Yeah. I mean, that speaks highly of what you're talking about, professionalism in that sense. And he said, I mean, after that day, he's really woken up. It has really transformed his mindset towards time and, I mean, jobs whatsoever. If not personal like this, something away from radio, whatever it is, be here at 8, he's there like 7:30 or let's say 7, making sure that he gets things done. And I mean, that's a strong kudos to you.
Yeah, you see, you asked me to be here at 4:30.
Yeah. I mean, you're in early.
my point is, you're driving a car.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. It happened on Wednesday evening. You know, at a school junction. I left the house, I think about 5. There was massive traffic just to go and see an accident. Careless drivers. But I got here on time. So for me, get here on time. I give my pen drive to our super DJ here. I do my loading everything. And then you realize that I sit down.
Yeah.
You said 4:30. I left the house at 3:30 just to get here so that you don't feel, hey, is Uncle Tommy going to come?
Yeah.
No. But when you get to the studio early, you have 3 C's on your head. Cool, calm, collected, and composed.
Cool, calm, collected, and composed.
Once you do that, there's no way you can feel behind the console.
Right. That's beautiful.
But for me, you come late 5 minutes, that same taxi will send you home.
Oh my God. At that time, if Uncle Tom sack you now, you go scream. Anyway, Uncle Tom, I mean, this is going to be some final words here. You have been named the king of country music and the godfather of radio. What do you want to be remembered for?
That's a very tough question. Just to be remembered for the impact I made on society, the people that I've helped. I'm not asking for anything in return. The people who showed me love.
Right.
And basically for the good job that I did, you know.
Right.
So he played country music to a lot of young people today say, because of me, they love country music.
Yeah.
Those are things I just want to hear. That's all.
I mean, that's beautiful. That's solid. I mean, you know, when Ronnie on my show, he said, I mean, he jumped on your tune and it was something crazy. I mean, he's always looking out for it. Every Wednesday, he wants to know that, I mean, it's going to happen. So, ladies and gentlemen, right after my show, Uncle Tom will be, you know, live and give you guys that feeling of country music. And you perfect guys say the hear voice. This side is hiding his voice. So when he sits where I'm sitting, you people will see the transformation. You hear it's morphing time. Uncle Tom, I'm going to ask one last question here. For our question of the day, we want to know, I mean, the report about the anti-migrant in South Africa, what has affected other African countries and all that. What step or what action do you think the affected country should take?
For me, an eye for an eye.
Ooh.
Straight up. No, you see, but people are being told that they are lazy. If people have come there to come and work and to create jobs for people, why are you attacking them?
Right.
So what are we sitting down doing? Well, perhaps it will bring enmity.
Exactly.
So maybe the step that we are taking is okay. Other African countries won't do that. Nigeria won't do that. Zambia won't do that.
Okay.
You know. So it's like, well, people say, let's leave it to God. God will judge them.
Most definitely. Okay. Uncle Tom, thank you so much. I want one last advice to everybody listening right now. Then we can just say a goodbye on the show.
For me, humility, number one. Humility, number one. Respect, number two. Today, you see people putting their hands in your pocket and say, hey, bro, what's up? You know, to a 70-year-old man. You know, but be yourself. Ask for advice. Don't think you know it all. You don't. I'm still learning. Okay? But for me, humility and respect. And you will get the same in return.
That's so beautiful right here. But Uncle Tom, are you active on social media?
Only on Facebook.
Only on Facebook.
Only on Facebook.
So what's the name so that, I mean, we can have...
Just type Tommy Annan Forson.
I mean, you don't need to stress it. The name itself is Living Legacy. So, I mean, it's something epic. Uncle Tom, thank you so much for gracing the occasion. I'm highly privileged, and you have answered my biggest dream because I've always wanted to have this chance. In as much as I see you in the studio, we exchange smiles, hugs, you motivate me and all that.
But you know this man, anytime I hug him, he wants to squeeze me. And I'm short, he's tall. You know,
God have mercy upon us.
I look like a madam and he looks like I look like a madam and he looks like a bamboo tree. Then he
Oh gosh.
But it's great talking to you, like I said, and I will say it again. You have an amazing voice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I've heard you without headphones, but you know, headphones can actually project, you know, your hearing ability, and you have a great voice.
Thank you so much. I'm really humble to this. Okay. So this is where we drop every single conversation. The spotlight. Tommy Annan Forson. He is a radio veteran. He is a walking and talking legend when it comes to radio. I call him Mr. Smooth. Stick and stay, don't touch that dial. There's still more to come your way. Highway 1019, leisure on your highway. Okay, 5 minutes to the top of the hour, 6 p.m. The news team will be here to give you the happenings of this world. But until then, enjoy the song.